we are here today with the Heart Brain Creative Podcast. Today I am talking with Cynthia Anderson. Thank you so much for joining. What I want to talk to you about is kind of how you got started, what kind of work you do, and then we can kind of talk about what shows you're going to be in so we can get to know your artwork and stuff.
Sure.
So what basically got you started with, because I know what kind of work you do. I have some over there.
Sure.
How did you get started doing that?
Well, that specifically, and that she's speaking of, is I like to say I put pretty dead things in jars. So ultimately, it came from my own interests, and I've always been interested in weird, different stuff, the obscure and oddities, that sort of thing. And I had the opportunity last fall to travel with a local oddities and curiosities vendor, and found out that other people are super into it too. And I knew that other people were, but I didn't realize just how many other people were interested in it. And when I helped to vend at those different events, I saw the different types of artworks, and I was just super inspired by it. So I bought some things at the different places as a wholesaler, and then created my own art out of them. And my first event selling those was Art Collective last fall, and I did very well. I was very surprised how many people were interested in it.
It's very cool stuff. It's something about I don't think I'm the person who would be like, oh yeah, let's put a dead animal in my house, but it doesn't feel that way at all. It just feels very pretty and respectful of the animal, to just have it. It's over there. I think it's a little hedgehog.
Sure.
So yeah, I really like having it. So it's
good.
It's definitely a neat thing, and you do a very good job.
Thank you.
At it.
Thank you.
Now, the other kind of artwork that you do, because you said recently you just started getting at this. What other type of art do you do?
So I do a lot of acrylic painting. I do a lot of crafting in general, and ultimately, I've been into art and creating my entire life, ever since I was a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And early teenage, early adulthood, I had kids. So I was at home for about 10 years with my kids. And then when I decided I needed a part-time job again, I ended up at a place downtown called Unglued.
Oh,
and
yes.
Some people might be aware of what Unglued was. Some people might not, but it was a handmade gift store, and we taught workshops as well. And that, being able to work there, sparked the creativity in me so much, and I got to do so many cool things.
That was a really neat place.
It was a very, very cool place to work. I mean, I can't even imagine anywhere else that I could ever work that I would get paid to make 3,000 pom-poms for a window display. It was the coolest thing ever. But being able to do that and teach workshops and learn myself, because there was a lot of things that we did that we went into just picking a project, and we had to learn it ourselves before we could go and teach it. And it was really cool. It was a lot of fun, and I genuinely miss it, but it's been able to really spin off into my own thing now. And I do everything from embroidery and cross stitch, but mostly I'm into acrylic painting and the putting pretty dead things in jars right now. So yeah.
So those things you said you sold at the Art Collective. What other shows have you been part of? Other kinds of shows before?
I have. So I've been in different art shows back to, oh my gosh, I'm trying to think of. I want to say the first one I did was called Skell House.
Oh, I remember that.
It was an installation in the old Skelly's building over Halloween. We did that, and then I was part of a similar kind of Halloween-themed show at Third Eye Gallery in Vishnu Bunny. I want to say that was about the same year. I've also done, oh my gosh, what else did I do? I did Art Collective this last year. I did Art and Wine Walk.
It's always
in May.
a busy show.
Yes, it was a lot of fun. Unfortunately, I had just had surgery on my hand, so I wasn't able to live paint. I really wanted to, but it was still a lot of fun, and I got to meet a lot of people and talk about my art, and that was the point of it. So, and then in June, I did the Lot at the Dada, the Dada Gastropub there, next to Icon. It was the first one. It was kind of interesting because we got rained out a little bit, so we got pushed up on the patio, but it still turned out to be a pretty good turnout and good show. So, and moving forward, I'm doing the next one July 1st, which is the next first Friday at the Lot. So that'll be exciting. Yeah. Hopefully our weather's better and we don't get rained out again.
Yes.
And it's not 97 degrees and 100% humidity.
Yes.
So.
And it worked out. It didn't even feel like, I kind of remember, wasn't it supposed to be on the patio? But it felt natural, like it was just worked out. Luckily, there weren't too many it didn't look too cramped. It just kind of felt kind of natural up on the patio. So that was
I feel like it worked out really well.
We need to see it in the parking lot area.
Fingers crossed the weather's nice and we're able to do that. Still excited about it.
So the other show, the one that we're getting geared up to work on here, is the Bazaar show, which I am putting on for the first time at big art show like this. There'll be 27 artists total. I think they've had back artigans there in the past, put on by someone else. So I talked to John from Sunny's. I said, do you want to do an art show there? Oh yeah, it was great for him, super busy. And I ended up actually timing it out so that way it's going to be the weekend before college starts.
Oh, perfect.
So I'm hoping to get like a lot of walkthrough traffic too. So yeah, that'll be nice. I'm working on getting music together and stuff. So it'll be nice. It's August 20, just to make sure I say that every time I talk to people. August 20 from 1 to 5, and it'll be outdoors. And there'll be pizza and beer there and everything too. But I'm going to make sure to have like water for everybody too, because I don't know what August is going to look like for weather.
Oh my gosh, I know. We never know.
And luckily everyone seems to be like, a lot of people seem to be experienced with this. They bring up stuff to me and, the covering for their table. It's like, I was part of one show 1 year at Art Collective, and it was definitely a learning experience.
Well, fortunately, with working with Unglued and doing different events for them, and then doing the oddities and curiosities, I had a little bit of experience with that sort of thing in going into my first event like that, which was Art Collective. So kind of had a little bit of an idea of what I was doing, but still had no idea how it was going to go or anything.
Well, and I loved your setup. You had a really neat, because that's one thing I don't even realize I don't even think about is, the display. It's not just setting stuff on a table, it's having everything, looking really pretty. So I remember you had a really good setup for that.
I work in retail, so
I could definitely tell that.
I like to try and make things aesthetically pleasing as possible.
Yes. So, can't wait to see you at that show. That'll be great. And I'm looking for the Dada show, the Lot, the Art Collective's coming up too. So there's a lot of different opportunities for people. So, well, thank you so much for coming on. Got to know you a little bit. Well, I'm sure people will love to see your stuff, next shows and everything. So, thank you so much for coming on.
No problem. Thanks for having me.